Excellencies, distinguished guests, colleagues and friends, good evening and welcome. Just a moment. At this event called the Blue Helmets in the Service of Peace, on the occasion of a remarkable milestone, the 70th anniversary of Italy's admission to the United Nations. 70 years ago, on December 14, 1955, Italy joined the United Nations alongside 15 other countries, and they are Albania, Jordan, Ireland, Portugal, Hungary, Austria, Romania, Bulgaria, Finland, Ceylon, now Sri Lanka, Nepal, Libya, Cambodia, Laos, and Spain, all affirming their commitment to a common vision of peace, multilateral cooperation, and a shared responsibility among peoples. This evening's exhibition and commemorative volume prepared by the Ministry of Defense and the Italian Armed Forces General Staff is a testament to this enduring journey of service, a journey defined by dedication, by generosity, and the unshakable belief in the principles and values of the UN Charter. We will shortly hear in greater detail the reflections of our distinguished hosts and guests on this important milestone, and then officially open our commemorative exhibit, a tribute to the courage, professionalism, and not least humanity, and sincere sense of service embodied by the Italian Armed Forces over these past 70 years. It is an honor to introduce to you this evening His Excellency Permanent Representative of Italy to the United Nations, Ambassador Massari, the UN Undersecretary General for the Department of Operational Support, Atun Karim, and the Military Advisor to the Permanent Mission of Italy to the United Nations, Major General Alfonso Manzo. Thank you all for being here this evening and honoring this wonderful milestone. It is now my pleasure to invite our first speaker, His Excellency Ambassador Maurizio Massari. Thank you.
Thank you very much, dear friends and colleagues. Listening to this presentation and thoughts, as maybe many of you might know, next year is going to be my last year in diplomatic service after 40 years of career. But the relief was that to hear that in 1955, at least, I was not born yet. But dear friends, and the Secretary General Atun Karim, dear colleagues, excellencies, ambassadors, distinguished military representatives, ladies and gentlemen, it's a great honor to welcome you this evening to the event The Blue Helmets in the Service of Peace, held on the occasion of the 70th anniversary of Italy's admission to the United Nations. 70 years ago, Italy joined the UN alongside 15 other nations, affirming its unwavering commitment to a vision of peace, of multilateral cooperation, and shared responsibility among peoples. It was a choice that reflected not only Italy's return to the international community, but also its deep conviction that global challenges require global solutions, that peace and security can only be built together. This evening we celebrate that enduring commitment, one that has found expression over the decades in Italy's steadfast contribution to the United Nations peacekeeping operations. From Lebanon to the Balkans, from Africa to the Middle East, Italian men and women wearing the blue helmet have served with professionalism, courage, and compassion, upholding the values enshrined in the Charter of the United Nations: dignity, solidarity, and the peaceful settlement of disputes. Their service embodies the very best of what the international community can achieve when united in purpose. This is also a testament to the partnership between the United Nations and member states, one that continues to evolve in response to the new challenges to peace and security. The mission presents a commemorative volume prepared by the Ministry of Defense and the Italian Armed Forces General Staff, here represented by our military advisor, Major General Alfonso Manzo. This work pays tribute to our remarkable journey defined by dedication, generosity, and an unshakable belief in the power of peace. It honors those who have served and most of all those who have made the ultimate sacrifice. As we reflected on 70 years of shared history, let us also look forward to the continued cooperation between Italy and the United Nations to the renewal of our collective commitment to peacekeeping and to the enduring hope that inspired the founding of these organizations. And this was the official speech. Let me add some words of my own. I think that I want to really stress here the importance of the UN peacekeeping and multilateralism in general. The UN has proved all over these years, we're talking about 70 years, that it's an indispensable organization to make the world more stable, predictable, or at least less unpredictable. And to this end, peacekeeping missions remain a central pillar, a central tool of the UN. Of course, the mandates have to be adapted to the new realities, the increased complexities at national and regional level. But we have a good roadmap, which is the new agenda for peace, which was proposed by the Secretary General 2 years ago, which has been embedded also in the Pact for the Future. We also have a resolution 2719, approved also 2 years ago. It is just waiting to be implemented. And we also have the peace-building architecture that has a great potential and that can complement the traditional peacekeeping functions. So we just have to use at best what we have and what we have decided together to have. And to do so, we have to provide adequate funding for the peacekeeping and the UN in general. Of course, while supporting the UN 80 efforts to make the UN more efficient, streamlined, and more fit for purpose. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ambassador Massari, for your introduction. We'd like to invite to the podium Under Secretary General Atul Khan.
Your Excellency and my dear friend, Ambassador Maurizio Massari, General Alfonso Manzo, Excellencies, my dear colleagues, acting military advisors, General Pierce, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the Department of Operation Support, and indeed on behalf of the United Nations, I would like to extend our heartfelt congratulations to Italy on the 70th anniversary of Italy's accession to the United Nations. Congratulazioni. This is indeed a milestone. The United Nations expresses its gratitude for Italy's unwavering support and contributions to peacekeeping operations since the 1960s, contributing to more than 30 missions across Africa, Asia, and Europe. We pay tribute to Italian peacekeepers for their service in United Nations peacekeeping missions and honor the brave women and men who paid the ultimate sacrifice. We will never forget your service or the sacrifices of your families. Italy has been a very valuable partner to my department in advancing peacekeeping and operational excellence. We have much to be grateful for. Together, we have achieved meaningful progress across a wide range of initiatives, from strengthening our Global Service Center in Brindisi to improving environmental management, advancing innovative initiatives such as the instant feedback system, the return, refurbish, and reuse, otherwise known as the 3R program, the UN Secure Network pilot, supporting capacity building under the African Union, United Nations Knowledge and Expertise Exchange Program, and of course, our flagship, the Triangular Partnership Program. Please allow me to briefly reflect on a few areas where this partnership has truly made a difference. We wish to reiterate our sincere appreciation to the government of Italy for its generous financial contribution toward the enhancement of the United Nations Global Service Center in Brindisi. What has it done? This investment has strengthened the strategic partnership between the United Nations and the host country and offered an opportunity to further elevate the relevance and operational effectiveness of the Global Service Center and the Secretariat as a whole, particularly in the context of Secretary General's UN80 initiative. The Global Service Center continues to play a critical role in enabling field missions and other client entities throughout their life cycle, providing rapid deployment and response capabilities, and driving innovation in digital supply chain management. I also appreciate, secondly, the government of Italy's continued support to UNIFIL through the contribution of 7 military units, especially during this exceptionally difficult financial situation faced by the organization. I want to particularly highlight that Italy's provision of air assets for UNIFIL have ensured the successful execution of casualty evacuation or CASEVAC operations, which have significantly enhanced missions' operational effectiveness and delivery of high-quality, efficient medical care in the field. We value Italy's sustained engagement in advancing medical training and readiness, including its support to the UN Clinics meeting organized by the Global Service Center, which brings together over 100 health managers and key medical personnel from more than 50 duty locations. Of course, and tomorrow I go to the embassy of Ambassador Maurizio Massari in the morning for a meeting of a group of friends which he co-chairs and which was founded by Italy, the group of friends for leading on environmental management in the field, otherwise known as LEAF. Congratulations again and a big thank you. Your generous contributions have allowed us to accelerate our efforts to build the capacity of field staff in the area of environmental management. Your recent pledge to deliver environmental protection courses is also invaluable. It allows us to sustain improvements made while maintaining a strong focus on managing environmental risks and leaving a positive legacy. And I can go on and on, but then what will happen to the reception? So now let me just reflect, shifting away from the prepared text, on a personal association. Italy has always sent its best to the United Nations. In the last 10 years, from Sebastiano Cardi to Maria Angela Zappia to Maurizio Massari, I want to say a big thank you to all of you personally. And in the field of peacekeeping, it is rare, I don't think that it has happened in any country, that from this country, 2 force commanders have actually become the Chief of Defense Staff. My very good friend, late General Claudio Graziano, to whom I pay respects, and of course, to the current Chief of Defense Staff, my very good friend, General Luciano Otterano, both of whom held the position of Force Commander of UNIFIL. So thank you for sending the best. As I said, thank you for sending the best both to the United Nations and to its peacekeeping operations. We look forward to continuation of our close cooperation based on the mutual confidence and friendship that we have built together for so long. Gracias per il vostro sostegno e impegno.
Major General
you, Excellency, for your words. Wonderful words. Thank you very much. Excellency, Ambassador Mauricio Massari, ladies and gentlemen, welcome once again. Let me join the distinguished authorities who have spoken before me in expressing my own appreciation and that of General Luciano Portolano, my Chief of Defense Staff, for your presence here this evening. Celebrating Italy's 70 years at the United Nations offers us the opportunity to honor not only the history written in official documents, but also what is deeply engraved in the very soul of the Italian Armed Forces personnel, shared obviously with many other nations, through the fatigue and the courage of the women and the men who have worn the blue helmet to defend peace, even when peace itself seemed merely utopian. Italian military personnel from all branches of the armed forces and the Carabinieri have served honorably and devotedly in UN missions across every continent, bringing aid and hope to regions marked by violence, disorder, and suffering. More than 50 Italian soldiers have fallen in the line of duty under United Nations emblem. We express our deepest gratitude to them, to all who have served and continue to serve the cause of peace, and to their generous and courageous families. The volume and exhibition organized by Italian Armed Forces are a well-deserved tribute to those who have worked to make the world a more peaceful place, yesterday, today, and tomorrow. To those who have served and continue to serve. To those who made the ultimate sacrifice. And to those who will continue to carry the UN flag around the world in their mission to safeguard peace. It is our history, but above all, it is our mission. The images and text presented here bear witness not only to the professionalism of our military personnel, but also their humanity, their respect for local cultures, their ability to engage with communities, to mediate and to building lasting bonds. The book and exhibition open with a brief introduction to the establishment of the United Nations and on the process of Italy's admission. They then move on peacekeeping operations, divided in 3 sections, that reflect the sequence of the different historical phases I will soon describe, highlighting Italy's commitment to UN peace mission through numerous images and accompanying captions displayed on the screens behind me. Briefly summarizing this context, it's clear that the concept of UN peacekeeping began to emerge in the early 1950s, when Dag Hammarskjöld, Secretary General of the United Nations from 1953 to 1961, introduced a new approach to managing international crises. He moved beyond the simple deployment of uniformed personnel with observation and interposition tasks to a more structured mechanism guided by 3 core principles: neutrality, the consent of the parties in conflict, and the use of force limited to the defense of UN personnel. Operation deployed by the United Nations between the mid-1960s and the late 1980s helped to establish the procedures and practices for containing regional conflicts. The challenges and critical issues they encountered over those 25 years foreshadowed, in many ways, the far more complex crises that would emerge, with ever greater intensity from the 1990s onward. With the end of the Cold War, a period that had profoundly shaped international politics and its key tenets, including intervention, use of force, sovereignty, and multilateralism, UN peacekeeping operations regained prominence. In the first quarter of the 21st century, beginning with the landmark of Reini report, which set the foundation of modern peacekeeping and peacebuilding, UN operations reached a record high in 2010 with more than 100,000 uniformed peacekeepers deployed at the same time across the globe. During the same period, financial resources devoted to peacekeeping operations more than doubled the total amount allocated to all the UN missions from 1948 to 2000. Finally, turning to present days, our analysis of international landscape reveals an increasingly widespread and fragmented pattern of conflicts, rapid geopolitical shifts, and bounding challenges to global stability. A stark reminder that collective security can never be taken for granted. In this context, international and multilateral cooperation remain the most effective tool for addressing complex crises, promoting reconciliation, and protecting civilian populations. Now, please allow me to conclude with a few words of special thanks. First and foremost, I wish to thank all the UN authorities, Mr. Carter before, permanent representatives, military and police advisors, and all those who have honored us with their presence. I would also like to thank everyone who helped make this project possible. My collaborators at military office in New York, and the personnel of the 5th Department of Italian Defense General Staff in Rome, the historical archives of the United Nations, the Presidency of the Italian Republic, the Presidency of the Council of Ministers, the Minister of Defense, and the Italian Armed Forces. I extend my heartfelt gratitude to General Luciano Cortolano again for the trust he placed in me, giving me the honor of organizing this exhibition and writing this volume, together with Professor Maria Gabriella Pasqualini. Writing this book and conceiving this exhibition has been a great honor for us. We wish to recount the story of 70 years of Italian Blue Helmets in service of peace, not as a closed chapter, but as a living and coherent commitment of history, sacrifice, dedication, and professionalism. With these feelings of gratitude, I thank you sincerely for your kind attention. Thank you very much.
Major General Fonso. As we look back, as we literally look back to this banner here, which is the cover of the commemorative volume, this image says it all. It's emblematic of the spirit of this event, emblematic of the spirit of the celebration in general. It's a photograph taken of our first Secretary General, Dag Hammarskjöld, shaking the hands of our very first permanent representative of Italy to the United Nations, Alberico Casati. Next to them, it's also a new member of the permanent representative of Australia, permanent representative of Hungary, and then the permanent representative of Portugal, standing next to Ambassador Casati as they hoist the Italian flag up for the first time at the United Nations headquarters in New York. That moment, immortalized on the cover of this volume, it reminds us that Italy's partnership with the United Nations has always been rooted in purpose, principle, and peace. Ladies and gentlemen, as we mark this historic anniversary, we also renew today that commitment with gratitude for the past and determination for the present and the future. And now I am pleased to say we will turn to other essential pillars of successful diplomacy, and that is good company and light refreshments. No drafting papers, no working groups, just good conversation. Please enjoy.
Ambasciatore, un evento importante che ha celebrato i caschi blu italiani e la loro storia alle Nazioni Unite.
Importantissimo è la testimonianza del grande contributo che l'Italia ha dato alle Nazioni Unite, al multilateralismo, ma anche alla pace nel mondo, perché le operazioni di pace delle Nazioni Unite hanno proprio questa funzione e l'Italia sin dall'inizio della sua partecipazione alle Nazioni Unite, quindi 70 anni fa, ha offerto il meglio di sé anche in termini di contributo militare, di uomini, di soldati, in missioni di pace dappertutto, dal Medio Oriente all'Africa all'Europa. E questo ci viene ampiamente riconosciuto, come abbiamo sentito oggi dalle parole del USG Atul Kare. E questo veramente ci fa onore, io sono onorato di rappresentare un grande paese come l'Italia qui alle Nazioni Unite. Le Nazioni Unite potranno continuare a contare sull'Italia, ci sono tante crisi nel mondo e il ruolo di paesi costruttori di pace come l'Italia è assolutamente indispensabile.
Quindi si pensa che in futuro, soprattutto in Medio Oriente, i caschi blu italiani saranno ancora indispensabili?
Beh, questo vedremo naturalmente, tutto da costruire. Attendiamo intanto l'esito del negoziato su questa risoluzione che dovrà approvare il Consiglio di sicurezza nei prossimi giorni. Sulla base della risoluzione si vedrà. L'Italia ha offerto la sua disponibilità per il training, per la formazione della polizia palestinese, che già è un contributo molto molto importante. In aggiunta a tutto quello che l'Italia già sta facendo per Gaza sul piano sia umanitario e quello che farà anche nell'ambito della ricostruzione. Noi crediamo che la pace in Medio Oriente sia fondamentale per tutti noi. Abbiamo vissuto anni, decenni di conflitto in questa regione tormentata e dobbiamo assolutamente ristabilire la pace. Siamo presenti, come sa, anche in Libano con un grande contingente di oltre 1000 soldati. Abbiamo anche il Force Commander italiano, il generale Abbagnara, che è riconosciuto da tutti per il suo eccellente lavoro che sta svolgendo sul terreno. Ecco, l'Italia è vista dappertutto in Medio Oriente, ma anche altrove, come una forza di pace. E questo è quello che naturalmente ci dà quella fiducia anche in noi stessi, che sul piano internazionale possiamo giocare il nostro ruolo.
Generale, un evento straordinario all'ONU per celebrare i caschi blu italiani e la loro storia. È una storia di 70 anni, ma è una storia che continua.
È una storia che, a dire il vero, è iniziata anche più di 70 anni fa, perché già sul finire degli anni 40 e dal 50 al 60 l'Italia fu impegnata in una missione fra India e Pakistan, pur non essendo membro, e ottenne l'amministrazione fiduciaria della Somalia dal 1950 al 1960, a dimostrazione del diritto e della legittimità a prendere parte all'ONU, come poi è accaduto nel 1955. Una storia diciamo lunga 70 anni e più, ma anche segnata da molti lutti. Naturalmente onoriamo i nostri 49 caduti sotto l'egida delle Nazioni Unite e guardiamo al futuro ovviamente con una idea di speranza di portare la pace soprattutto in quei teatri che sono più martoriati, come quello del Medio Oriente e dell'Est Europa. Quindi l'Italia è stata presente costantemente, come ci è stato riconosciuto stasera anche dal sottosegretario generale al supporto operativo, alle operazioni di pace, Atul Kare.
Generale, io sono un giornalista all'ONU da tanti anni e da tanti anni i colleghi, quando mi vedono, mi dicono: ma ci andranno i soldati italiani di là, di qua? Insomma, i soldati italiani, i caschi blu, hanno una fama di essere i migliori all'ONU. E allora molti mi chiedono adesso: ma ci andranno i soldati dell'UNIFIL a Gaza?
Dunque, la richiesta di peacekeepers italiani, di soldati avieri, marinai e carabinieri è sempre altissima, perché come ho detto nella mia prolusione, l'umanità oltre che la professionalità e la competenza fa la differenza. Quindi l'umanità del nostro peacekeepers, la capacità di entrare in connessione con la popolazione, con le comunità, la neutralità e l'imparzialità rispetto ad ognuna delle parti in causa ci hanno sempre garantito la massima autorevolezza. Per quanto riguarda il teatro medio orientale, UNIFIL ha già il suo bel da fare in Libano, a sud del Litani, e quindi grazie al generale Bagnara che guida questi circa 10.000 unità stiamo facendo un ottimo lavoro, stiamo riscuotendo il solito successo che il peacekeeper italiano riporta nel mondo. Per quanto riguarda la Palestina, lei faceva riferimento a quello, ovviamente non mi voglio sottrarre. Io mi posso rifare soltanto alle comunicazioni che sono state fatte pubblicamente dai nostri vertici politici. L'Italia sarà disponibile nel momento in cui ci saranno le condizioni di sicurezza minimali e nel momento in cui ci sarà la copertura delle Nazioni Unite.